Welcome to the Utility Operations Contractor Safety Program. My name is Paul and I'll be your PHI contact for this video. During the time you're working with PHI, you will interact with a PHI representative like me who will serve as your primary point of contact. The safety of all individuals is paramount to PHI. To ensure the protection of PHI's employees, visitors, and property, contractors are expected to provide a safe and secure workplace and operate in an environmentally sound manner. This course is designed to provide contractors working at PHI with the fundamentals to maintain a safe environment. Working on construction and maintenance can be dangerous. This work includes many hazardous tasks and conditions, including heights, excavations, power tools and equipment, confined spaces, and electricity. Work-related accidents due to unsafe conditions can cause serious injuries or even result in death. However, most accidents are preventable by following some key safety rules. In this safety review, we'll highlight the practices you must follow to ensure safety as a PHI contractor, which includes basic safety expectations at PHI such as traffic safety, parking and driving, PPE, and prohibited practices. Next, we'll ensure you come prepared to work at PHI by discussing OSHA compliance, PHI cardinal safety rules, and tailgate conferences. Then we'll review work area safety, including lockout-tagout procedures, proper handling of tools and equipment, and procedures to follow for specific work types. Finally, we'll review steps to follow in the event of an emergency by discussing emergency preparedness, including the PHI Emergency Contact Protocol.
PHI and its subsidiaries believe that there is no job so important that it can't be accomplished safely. We want to make sure that every day is accident and injury-free.
To best accomplish this mission, we will begin this program by reviewing some of the fundamental safety rules you'll need to observe when working for PHI. Upon entry to a PHI facility, you will notice driving and parking safety signs. All speed limits, traffic signs, and traffic rules must be observed on PHI premises.
At PHI, we back into or pull through all our parking spots to avoid having to back out to leave.
Our safety rule states, vehicles shall be parked by pulling through or backing when possible. If a second person is available, that person shall act as a guide when backing the vehicle into or out of a parking spot.
If backing is required and a second person is not available to act as a guide, the operator shall circle for safety prior to backing. Vehicles may be parked on PHI sites with permission in properly marked areas. Vehicles and equipment left overnight on the site must be left locked with the windows up and secured. The key must be left with security personnel on site in case of an emergency.
Vehicle safety is paramount to PHI. When operating a motor vehicle on PHI job sites, drivers should remain focused and avoid unnecessary distractions like cell phones and headphones. If the use of a cell phone or other personal electronic device cannot be avoided, use only devices equipped with a hands-free accessory. All loads should be properly secured with the appropriate equipment prior to operating a vehicle. Chocks are required for vehicles that are over 10,000 pounds. All contractors and subcontractors should arrive to work in the proper personal protective equipment, or PPE, required for their job type. Minimum requirements include a hard hat and safety glasses which meet the minimum ANSI standard. Different areas of a job site may have special PPE requirements. Be sure to obey all posted signs and placards to ensure your compliance. Hard hats shall be worn with the brim forward and the suspension properly adjusted. Safety glasses must have permanent side shields. Appropriate footwear shall be worn depending upon the type of activity or hazard. Construction activity shall use boot-style shoes that feature a crush-proof toe, impact resistance to 75 pounds, compression resistance to 2,500 pounds, and a defined heel. Additional protection for dielectric insulation shall be required when working near energized lines or equipment. Flame-resistant or FR clothing shall be worn as an outer garment whenever working near natural gas or active electrical sources. Shirts must always be tucked in to ensure skin is protected, and to prevent clothing from being caught in machinery. Contractors shall not wear shorts, cutoffs, or sleeveless shirts. Hearing protection shall be worn when the noise level is above 85 decibels. Work gloves shall be worn whenever there is a possibility of thermal or chemical burns, cuts, abrasions, pinching, or other injuries. Primary rubber protective gloves and sleeves rated for the voltage shall be worn when working on or near energized equipment. Face shields and/or goggles are worn on top of safety glasses when exposed to flying objects, when performing air lancing or pressure washing, when grinding metal, when using a wire wheel, or when chipping concrete. When working at PHI, it is imperative that you are able to work safely and with a clear head, which requires you to be drug and alcohol free. PHI prohibits alcoholic beverages and illegal drugs on its premises. People under the influence of drugs or alcohol shall be removed and suspended for a period of time determined by PHI. PHI prohibits firearms, ammunition, and all other lethal and non-lethal weapons on its premises. This excludes knives and other tools used for construction activities. State law prohibits smoking inside all PHI buildings. Smoking is permitted in designated smoking areas outside the workplace. That covers PHI's basic safety rules for all employees and contractors. Now let's discuss arriving fully prepared to work at PHI. Contractors must come to the worksite prepared to work in compliance with all OSHA regulations. Part of PHI policies and procedures address work that creates exposure to the greatest risk, where serious injury and/or death can result if prescribed rules are not followed. At PHI, these rules are known as cardinal safety rules. As a contractor, you are expected to know and follow all cardinal rules to ensure your safety and the safety of those around you. The tailgate conference is a mandatory step to complete before beginning work on any PHI site. The tailgate conference should focus on site-specific hazards associated with the work to be performed. The keys to a successful tailgate conference are talking about the job, assigning employees specific duties, identifying known hazards, letting employees know what is expected, guarding against additional hazards, allowing time to do the job safely, thoroughly reviewing safety rules and PPE, and evaluating each employee's understanding. Additionally, emergency procedures should be discussed. Personnel should be informed about actions to take in the event of an emergency situation such as injuries or outages. The tailgate conference should be reviewed following extended breaks or when the crew leaves and returns to the job site. If conditions are modified or new employees enter the job site, a new tailgate conference should be conducted. Each crew member working on the job site must participate in the tailgate and upon completion, confirm their understanding of the topics discussed and what their assigned task is for the day. Each person must also sign the tailgate form acknowledging their acceptance. Proper signage in designated work areas helps ensure the safety of those working on and in close proximity to PHI job sites. At the entrance to the work site, the appropriate signage must be posted and adhered to at all times. Work areas shall be barricaded to restrict and eliminate potential access and exposures to the public. Where necessary to ensure proper isolation of affected equipment, contractors must comply with OSHA's lockout/tagout standards. Contractors must contact PHI system operations to place a tag. Contractors may never remove a danger tag unless instructed by system operations. Contractors must provide their own tools and equipment. They are required to inspect and maintain this equipment to keep it in safe working order at all times. Tool handling requirements include inspecting and maintaining tools in a safe condition, using them only for jobs in which they are intended. Using non-sparking tools in areas where flammable liquids or gases are stored or dispensed. Using agency-approved double-insulated or grounded portable electrical power tools, hand tools, machinery, and equipment. Using ground fault circuit interrupters or GFCI, disconnecting hoses from the air supply on pneumatic tools when not in use. Construction and maintenance sites come with their own sets of hazards, so it is important to be aware of worksite safety requirements at PHI for specific work types. Elevated work. For work involving a fall hazard of 4 feet or greater from a worker's foot level, or where an individual is working over dangerous equipment, contractors must use appropriate fall protection. Scaffolds. When using scaffolds and scissor lifts, approved guardrail systems shall be installed on scaffolds higher than 6 feet above ground. Approved fall protection shall be worn and lanyards shall be secured to the designated attachment point prior to going aloft. Trenches and excavations. When working in and around trenches or performing excavation work, contractors shall adhere to all applicable OSHA regulations.
Before any digging or excavation work is performed, the law requires that you must call Mist Utility at 811 for approval to dig.
Confined spaces. Contractors may be required to enter spaces which are not normally occupied and may contain hazards. Permit-required confined spaces shall not be entered unless all applicable OSHA regulations have been followed. Cranes and hoists. When using cranes or hoisting equipment, precautions shall be taken to ensure the safety of operators and others. The zone around where the crane or hoist is used shall be barricaded and kept clear of all unauthorized personnel. Suspended loads. Suspended loads shall never be left unattended. When moving a suspended load, the operator shall assure personnel are clear of the path of transport. Workers will not stand or work under suspended loads. Welding, cutting, and brazing. Welding, cutting, and brazing shall be done by trained and qualified personnel. Proper PPE and clothing shall be used and worn in the proper manner while performing these activities. Even with many safeguards in place, there may be times when you will encounter an emergency situation. In this next section, we'll discuss preparing for and responding to an emergency. In the event of an emergency situation, PHI has prescribed specific protocols for contractors. The PHI Contractor Emergency Contact Card outlines the order in which responders must be called in emergencies, as well as other non-emergencies when working on PHI sites. Incidents are categorized into first-level incident, serious injury and accidents, fires, gas line ruptures, or any other life-threatening situation. Second-level incident, electrical-related issues such as unplanned outages or electrical damage. Third-level incident, work-related questions such as scope changes or customer complaints. For serious injuries, accidents, fires, and other life-threatening situations, a contractor's first call should be to a 911 operator. Once first responders are activated, the second call is to the electric system operator to ensure that electrical service in the area is appropriately shut down to prevent further damage. The third call is to your PHI contact to notify them of the situation. For electrical-related issues such as unplanned outages or electrical damages, your first call is to the electric system operator followed by a call to your PHI contact. It is important to note that contractors may not block or obstruct access to emergency equipment. This includes first aid kits, eye wash stations, safety showers, fire extinguishing equipment, fire hydrants, transformers and emergency generators. Contractors may not relocate, obstruct, or disable emergency equipment without prior permission. You have reached the end of this program on contractor safety at PHI. You will now be required to sign an acknowledgement form and receive a sticker that should be placed on your hard hat. This hard hat sticker is different than the substation hard hat sticker. Don't be confused. You cannot use this hard hat sticker to enter a substation. You are also required to review the contractor safety orientation guidelines if you have not done so already. The guideline reference includes additional safety measures and detailed specifications not included in this program. After reviewing the information, you and any subcontractors must sign a contractor safety orientation sign-off sheet indicating that all personnel have reviewed and understand the safety requirements for working at PHI. We have completed our review of the important safety steps to follow when working as a PHI contractor. Remember, safety is a core value of PHI, and the lives of all personnel matter. By working together, PHI and its contractors can achieve the highest possible safety standards and ensure every day is accident and injury-free.